Hello, everyone. I'm here once again talking as early as ever about a movie that came out a month ago. How incredible. I think me and my girlfriend saw a preview for this. We saw posters for it at the movie theater, like banners, cardboard cutouts, or whatever. It looked nice and all, but I think we saw a preview, like a trailer for it, when we went to watch Transformers 1, I think. And I didn't really care that much until immediately, like, I don't really like trailers, but then we saw the trailer, and I don't really like the trend that, like, everybody is copying Spider-Verse now. But I saw from the creators of How to Train Your Dragon, and I was immediately hooked. And then I knew I was definitely going to watch this movie. This movie, immediately, it's 100% visuals. The visuals are so incredible with this movie. Cinema Wins said this thing about Spider-Verse.
Truly, you can pick any random scene and pause. Art.
And I totally agree with it for Spider-Verse 2. I also agree with it for The Wild Robot as well. Any shot, stop at any frame practically, and you have an incredibly beautiful wallpaper. It's fantastic. It's so amazing to look at. The moment I thought of this was like around like 15 minutes into the movie or something, where the robot enters like a small cave, and like it's like a painting, dude. It looks so incredible. So you're not really sure what's going to happen in this movie. Like, you're mainly there for the visuals, I think, and then you trust that the people who made How to Train Your Dragon will make another good movie. The only thing you're kind of really there for to like really assume is going to happen, you're going to assume like a wild robot is going to be well, it's called a wild robot, but like this robot is going to be domesticated by the animals. That is not how those words work. It's going to be it's going to become an animal-like, and learn from the animals, live like the animals, you know, like those kids who grow up in the forest or whatever. You think that's going to happen, but then, not really a spoiler, this happens like immediately. This robot is meant to complete any task it gets, and it ends up fostering a little baby goose. I think it was a goose. And then the robot's task is to prepare it for the winter, for it to migrate. I will say something about this movie. Yeah, you're mainly there for the visuals, I think, and then story is kind of secondary, kind of like a lot of comedy movies, you know. Story is kind of just there to drive the jokes. This movie is like kind of there to just drive the amazing visuals. Kind of like Avatar, to be honest. This movie kind of has a pacing issue, if you ask me. I think this movie kind of overstays its welcome. Not really overstays its welcome, but like could have definitely done without like 15, 20, maybe even half an hour in the movie. It is even kind of a bit longer, on the longer side for an animation movie. Like usually animations, comedies and like horror movies are like an hour and a half maybe, but this is like an hour and 40 minutes. Something else I'm going to say about this movie being like, you know, a kind of kids animation movie, I was expecting for the entire duration of this movie, except for the end, I was expecting something awful to happen, and I was kind of like psyching myself out. I was expecting something bad to happen, and I was like, man, I cannot handle it. If something bad happens in this movie, I'm going to bawl my eyes out, and I don't want this to happen. Like a Toy Story 3 moment or something. I was like that, and I was like expecting that, but it just kind of never happened. That might be more of my problem, but you know, whatever. The voice acting, actually, I was actually pleasantly surprised. The robot is voiced by the lady from Black Panther 2, the T'Challa's girlfriend. And then I heard frickin' Pedro Pascal as the fox, bro. What? And then I ended up checking it out. Dude, there's so many voice actors in this movie, and they're doing such a good job, too. It is amazing. It was such a treat to hear them, too. Bill Nye, Mark Hamill, dude. Yeah, I think the movie has a bit of a pacing issue, a bit of like maybe not a structure issue. A bit of a pacing issue, like 15, 20 minutes could have been cut. And at the end, they kind of, if you ask me, you know, like I said, this movie is just kind of there for the visuals. It's kind of like, wow, Spider-Verse started this thing. These other projects that came out of that like inspiration, they look really good too. We need to do something else that looks really good. Okay, sure. But then what? You need kind of like more than just how it looks. And it feels like a plot was kind of, frankly, the robot raising the goose and teaching it to survive the migration. That could have been a fine enough plot, but then it also went into like, it had to have a climax, and like, you know, we need action and stuff. And if you look at the trailers or whatever, it looks like there's a giant freaking fire destroying the forest or whatever. You imagine that's a natural disaster, but then like other things get tossed into the mix too, which is a bit kind of slightly forced. And like I said too, this movie is a bit long, an hour and 40 minutes, and I was psyching myself out too, where, you know, like I thought something bad was going to happen and it didn't happen for like an hour. But then at the end, there's like what should I say? A Wall-E moment, a Wall-E type situation scenario happens. And then that's like very sad. But then like now I'm not yes, that's impactful. But then like now I'm not really that emotionally affected by that anymore. That's pretty much all I want to say. I think The Wild Robot was like an incredible movie to watch, just like, you know, spectacle wise. Maybe not spectacle, it's not like Mad Max or like big explosions or whatever, just like an incredible visual treat. So I am giving The Wild Robot an 8 out of 10. So there's a tier list, there's a letterbox, follow on Twitter if you want, there's Twitch too, like and subscribe if you want to, and that's about everything. Thank you guys for watching. Bye everyone.